Hello everybody, it is Cardiologist. Today we're going to be flushing the power steering fluid. How often do you need to do that? Well, it's a little controversial. People seem to say every 70 to 100,000 miles. Other people say every 4 years. No matter how you slice it, I'm going to need to do it at this point. Come on and let me show you where the power steering fluid pump is and how we're going to do this job. This is the power steering fluid pump. And as you can see, it has a little return line right here. So what we're going to need to do is to get some tubing and sort this out so that as I put in new power steering fluid, I can get rid of the old power steering fluid. Alright, so we started off by jacking up the car like this. The reason I've done that is so that I can turn the ignition to on, but the engine will not actually be running. And then I'll be able to use the power steering pump without the engine running to cycle through and flush new fluid in while collecting the old fluid out. Alright, so I removed this pipe. This is the return line from the power steering, and it goes into the power steering reservoir. And then you see the color of the oil that we get. I've already drained most of it, but this is what's left. And the main thing to notice is that it's not green, because the new stuff is going to be green. Alright, so I got a few supplies from Home Depot. This is 1/2-inch inner diameter tubing, and this is a splicer. And we're going to hook a few tubes up so that we can flush this properly. Alright, so I have a 1/2-inch connector. I really wanted one in plastic. This is what they had. It goes inside here, and now the other end is going to go into that pipe. Come and watch. Alright, so this gets plugged in to the return line like this. Very nice. Okay. Alright, so we'll cut this pipe right here. This end will go into our waste area, and it's nice because it's clean and clear, and so when this stuff comes out, we'll be able to see when we get a color change from the dirty fluid to the clean fluid. Alright, so now I'm going to take this area, this plug or nozzle, we're going to put a little pipe on it, and we're just going to fold the pipe over so that it plugs it up. And then I will unscrew this cap like this. We're going to put a funnel in here, and the new fluid will go in. It gets sucked into the pipe, into the pump, and then it's going to come back out the return line here and go into the garbage area. Alright, so to fashion a stopper, what I'm going to do is just fold over this pipe, use a clamp, which is a really small vice grip here, and we're going to just grip that, and now I'll take one of these ends and put it on that plug. Alright, so now I'm going to put that whole thing on here, and it fits a little loosely, so I guess I should get a hose clamp for that. Alright, I added a hose clamp to that setup. We just put this on. Here's the hose clamp, and now I'm going to tighten the hose clamp with a screwdriver. Okay folks, so here's the setup. I have the funnel in here. I'm going to pour fresh fluid through here. This part is just blocked off, and then the car is up off the ground. I'm going to go in and turn the wheel, and all the bad stuff is going to come out of this clear tube into the garbage while we continue to fill this with good new green stuff. Alright, so this stuff is green, and you'll see as we pour it in, it is nice and green. And it doesn't look like anything's leaking, so that's good. And so we're going to fill this up. Good, that's pretty much full. Now, this is where things get interesting. We're going to go inside the car, we're going to start turning the wheel. Alright, I'm not going to start the engine, but I am going to go to like the second click so that we get all the electrics done. And what that lets you do is to be able to move the steering wheel. So as I move the steering wheel, it's going to suck in the new stuff, and then the old stuff is going to come out, and we should see that through the clear tube. Okay, so I'm going to keep this reservoir filled while my able assistant turns the car first to the right. Go ahead and turn to the right, please. All the way to the right, please. And you see all that junky fluid coming out. Tell me when you're all the way turned to the right.
Yeah.
All the way? Now turn to the left, please. Okay. Are you all the way to the left? Are you to the left, assistant?
Mm-hmm.
All the way to the right, please. Okay, all the way to the left once you've gotten to the right. Just keep going. Keep on going. Go all the way one way and then go all the way the other, please. And go slowly and smoothly, please. From one side to the other. Alright, stop turning the wheel, please. Stop turning. Alright, I got my second bottle now. Would you please keep turning? And you'll see that the color is changing. Yeah. We're starting to get the good stuff. All the way to the other side, please. Good. All the way to the other side. Alright, so now everything is nice and green. You can stop turning, please. Alright, so now that we have flushed it, and you can see that everything is the new stuff, it's nice and clean, so it's flushed through the system. We now have to take off our system. So I'm going to put in this little container to try to catch as much of this garbage as possible. And then we're going to take off the homemade stopper. It's going to be kind of hard. I think I'm going to make a mess. Making a mess is kind of the way this goes, I think. But you can minimize the mess, I think. So, yeah, there it goes. So the mess is minimized now. So we are now filling here. So let that fill. This is actually clean fluid. I could use this again if I had to. This is pretty clean. I'm going to just put my finger over it because I think I've already reached the top of that container. I'm afraid it's all going to spill. Make a big mess. Okay, there it comes, there it comes. So you see that this is nice. Alright, put this fluid down on the ground. Okay, so I still have my thumb over it. Now what we're going to do is take out the return line here. I switched my thumb, so I have a different finger over that. Yeah, good luck to me. Alright, so now we reinstall the drainage pipe here. And then I will tighten down this hose clamp and fill the reservoir. Alright, tighten down the hose clamp. So now the return hose goes back in here. Now for those of you with 211s that are gas, and that's going to be most of you, what you probably want to do is for an extra 25 or 30 bucks, you buy this whole reservoir because that has a filter that's built into it. Now I, as a diesel owner, can't do that because they don't sell it separately. I would have to buy the entire power steering pump, just like $400 and a huge amount of work. So I will just reuse it. But the gas engines do sell that part, and that way you have a new filter. Okay, so now that this is done, we are going to fill this up with power steering fluid, and then just make sure that the system's out and that there's no bubbles in it. Okay, so I filled the reservoir, made sure that it looks right on the dipstick. Now I'm going to start the engine, and there's going to be some bubbles that come out of the system, and then we'll just top it off and make sure that we've got everything spot on. So, here comes the engine. absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. So now all I need to do is make sure that that level is still correct. Nope, needs fluid. So we'll top it off, and then we should be done with our power steering fluid adjustment. So, we have completed the task. We're all flushed. This is at the right level. You can see how we got the old stuff out and the new stuff in. And I just have a little fluid that kind of spilled down there, and I guess I just have to give it a clean. But overall, job done.